Let's talk apologetics. I want to discuss a YouTube channel named Dawah over Dunya and a recent video that he made trying to justify the fact that Muhammad married a 6-year-old and had sex with a 9-year-old. Here's their sources, the Muslim sources from Sunnah.com. Here is Sunnah.com. This is Bukhari 5134. You can see at the top right here. And it says, narrated by Aisha, that the Prophet, which would be Muhammad, married her, which is in regards to Aisha, when she was 6 years old, and he consummated his marriage when she was 9 years old. So we can see he definitely married a 6-year-old and had sex with a 9-year-old. And he's trying to say that that problem that's in Islam, that people can clearly see that is a huge problem, an adult male having sex with a child, that he's saying that Christians also have that same problem. Seeing that in Matthew chapter 23, when Jesus says about the scribes and the Pharisees, that you have to do everything that they say. And this video tries to justify that position to say that we need to listen to whatever the Pharisees teach and say and do. So here's that video now. Let's take a look at it.
Hello, excuse me? Yeah, you. Quick question. Are you a Christian?
Yeah, why?
Yo, come here. What if I told you that Jesus Christ in the New Testament condoned marrying 3-year-olds?
Wait, what? 3-year-olds? Where'd you get that from?
Come check it out. I got Matthew 23 pulled up. It says, the teachers of the law and the Pharisees sit in Moses' seat. So you must be careful to do everything they tell you.
Okay, so Jesus Christ was telling the people to follow the Pharisees and everything they taught. So what? Do you not know what the Jewish Talmud says about marriage? Let me just pull up the Talmud for you. So I can give me that. Let me see here. What does it say? A girl who is 3 years and 1 day old, whose father arranged her betrothal, is betrothed through intercourse.
So again, Dawah over Dunya's case is that whatever the scribes and Pharisees say, you're supposed to just do whatever they say. However, in the context of the verse, it actually says this: the scribes and the Pharisees sit on Moses' seat. So do and observe whatever they tell you, but not the works they do, for they preach, but do not practice. So the question is, what are they preaching, and what are we actually supposed to do what they say? So the seat of Moses, historically speaking, is an actual seat in ancient synagogues where the leader or teaching elder would take a seat and he would read and preach from the books of Moses. We see in the book of Acts that this actually is being done, that Moses is read in the synagogues. In Acts chapter 15, the text says, "For from ancient generations Moses has had in every city those who proclaim him, for he is read every Sabbath in the synagogues." We have to be honest with the text. The book of Matthew is consistent all the way through. Jesus has already condemned the teachings of the scribes and the Pharisees, not the teachings of Moses, but the teachings that come directly from the scribes and the Pharisees, their man-made traditions. He says in Matthew chapter 16, "Beware of the leaven of the Pharisees and Sadducees." Then they understood that he did not tell them to beware of the leaven of bread, but of the teaching of the Pharisees and the Sadducees. Also, we have in Matthew chapter 15, the Pharisees and the scribes came to Jesus from Jerusalem and said, "Why do your disciples break the traditions of the elders? For they do not wash their hands when they eat." He answered them, "And why do you break the commandment of God for the sake of your tradition? For God commanded, 'Honor your father and your mother,' and whoever reviles father or mother must surely die. But you say, if anyone tells his father or his mother, 'What you would have gained from me is given to God,' he need not honor his father. So, for the sake of your traditions, you have made void the word of God. You hypocrites, well did Isaiah prophesy of you when he said, 'This people honor me with their lips, but their heart is far from me. In vain do they worship me, teaching as doctrines the commandments of men.'" And then staying within the same context of Matthew chapter 23, we continually see Jesus say over and over again, "Woe to you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites." He says it over and over again, showing that what they're preaching from the words of Moses, from the Torah, is not what they're actually doing, because they're hypocrites. So we clearly see that Dawah over Dunya is misusing Matthew chapter 23 to fit him trying to justify his prophet Muhammad having sex with a 9-year-old. The Bible does not teach that position. It is against the Bible. It is the prophet Muhammad and his sick, twisted teachings that allowed him to have sex with a child. That is not what the Bible teaches. That is a gross misunderstanding of Matthew chapter 23. Please read the Bible in context, not adding what you want to make your prophet fit the position that you hold to. And definitely don't go to the Talmud, because that is clearly not what Jesus is referring to when they are sitting on the seat of Moses. They are teaching the words of Moses, not their man-made traditions that later became what we call the Talmud.